if you struggle with getting sick multiple times a year and you feel like you're feeling shitty, feeling tired, blowing your nose, going to the doctor, taking a bunch of bullshit medicine, this is the video for you. I'm going to show you how to never get sick, how to prevent yourself from getting sick, and if you do get sick, how to have you recover as quick as possible. So the first mistake that a lot of you guys are making is that you love taking bullshit medicine. So whenever you start feeling sick, you love taking Advil or some little NyQuil or DayQuil that has corn syrup and fake flavorings, and you realize that these things are just Band-Aids on blows. They're not actually solving the problems. All these things are gonna do is gonna make you feel a little bit better. Like NyQuil, it's gonna make you fall asleep, but it's gonna fuck up your REM sleep, and you're ingesting literally corn syrup and artificial food dyes that literally cause cancer. Corn syrup literally makes you fatter, which is gonna make you die sooner. Red 40 is gonna give you cancer and give you ADHD and all these problems. There's studies showing all this. I can show you some here. But you'll take all these little, vitamin C packet that has artificial sweeteners like sucralose in it and artificial dyes. You'll take all these little things instead of just eating real food. Real food in your lifestyle is literally the medicine that you should be, taking instead of pills, synthetically mass-produced in a fucking factory. Like, you need to think for yourself. Like, as a human made from the earth, do you think all this factory-made bullshit is gonna make you better? And obviously, I believe in surgery. Like, I had knee surgery, my tore my ACL. Like, that's great. Doctors are great, but doctors that just prescribe pills and little, bullshit prescriptions are just dumb. They're just keeping you in the cycle. I don't know if you've ever heard of Big Pharma, but the big corporations that mass-produce all these pills and the big corporations that, run all the food companies that make all this bullshit processed food, they collaborate with each other in order to make as much money as possible. So basically, the big food corporations, they make shitty food that's gonna make you sick, make you fat, make you unhealthy, and then they partner up with a solution, which is a bunch of pills, which make you come back. Like, have you ever thought about someone on ADHD or on birth control? They take that shit forever. What better business model would there be to have your customers just reoccurringly come back and buy food and buy shit over and over again? To do it over and over again, forever. Like, if you're on diabetes medication, what is it, insulin? You have to take that shit till you die. You keep your insurance, or you have to keep buying it forever. They're making tons of money off you, but you don't realize that you shouldn't be fucking taking that shit, because it's just gonna keep you in the same spot. You're not actually gonna get better. So on the flip side, the thing that you actually need to be focusing on is micronutrients. So a lot of you guys are just focused on macronutrients and protein, carbs, fats. That's what macros are. You guys will hear that in bodybuilding or fitness or health things, oh, hit your macros. But the thing is, you'll get these things from bullshit foods. And on the other hand, you don't even think about the micronutrients, vitamins and minerals. Are you getting those from bioavailable food sources that are actually absorbed in your body? And that's the thing with supplements that are synthetically made in a lab. It's very questionable whether or not they're actually bioavailable and if you actually absorb it. And half the time, there'll be sunflower oil or seed oils literally in the pills. So these little thickening agents or bullshit capsules that are actually gonna kill your chest and fuck you up. So just getting all of your vitamins and minerals from fruits, from meats, from eggs, from whole foods, it's literally the best thing you can do. Instead of worrying, is this pill gonna work? Do I need to take my pills in the morning? Why don't you just structure your diet so that you can actually get your micronutrients every single day? So ideally, fruits have most vitamins, minerals, and red meat, eggs. They're the most nutrient-dense foods on the planet. So if you're actually calculating how many vitamins and minerals you're getting, you're probably not gonna get sick, because these really have to do with all the functions of your body, like your eyesight and your hearing and your blood pressure and your immune system. And when it comes to getting sick, you wanna make sure your immune system is strong. And vitamin D3 is actually one of the most important vitamins, basically a pro-hormone that has to do with having a strong immune system. So basically there's studies that during COVID, people who were deficient in vitamin D got fucked up the worst. And basically, the people who got fucked up the worst were black people who weren't supplementing vitamin D3 and weren't getting sunlight. So basically, the more melanin you have, the more time you have to spend in the sun to absorb the sufficient amount of vitamin D in order to have your levels be hit. So basically, if I'm in UV 10, I would probably need to be out there for half an hour. Compared to a black person who's really dark, they would have to be out there for 3 hours. So basically people in like the UK where there's only clouds, no sunlight, it was black people in the UK who were not getting vitamin D3, not supplementing it, and not getting any sunlight, and then their immune system got fucked because they were extremely deficient. So basically, if you live in a place where there's no sunlight, you have to be supplementing 20,000 IUs of vitamin D3 every day. But if you get like a MyFitnessPal or something, you can put it in the calculator and make sure, or like a nutrition calculator, you can put your diet, everything you're eating in the day, and just make sure that you're hitting all your micronutrients. Because you guys care so much about eating all this bullshit food. Oh, I want to eat pizza today, Chinese today, Indian next day. Like, if you just eat the same things over and over again, you're gonna actually make sure that you're hitting these things every single day, and then you're not gonna get sick, you're gonna feel better, you're gonna have a higher test, you're not gonna have to fucking worry. But it just depends, like, do you care about living long, feeling good, looking good, or do you care about eating some bullshit, tasty food that doesn't fucking matter and isn't actually fucking good for you? So the next thing that you guys are fucking up on when it comes to, not getting sick is your lifestyle. So lifestyle is really a broad topic, but basically, drinking alcohol destroys your REM sleep, which destroys your immune system. When you have shitty sleep, your immune system gets shot. Alcohol destroys your gut microbiome. It basically kills everything. If you pour alcohol on a wound and it burns, it kills all the bacteria. It kills all the good shit and the bad shit in your gut, which is gonna make you get sick, feel shitty, fuck everything up in your body. I don't wanna have to explain everything. Basically, drinking or smoking weed, like, it fucks your sleep, which is gonna fuck you up. How much sunlight you get, as I was saying in the other section, like, if you're getting sunlight, you're gonna be way better off and not get sick versus if you don't get any. How often do you eat fast food? How often do you eat seed oils? Are you even tracking your micros on a daily basis? Are you just, going to the bars, eating random amounts of food every day, not tracking anything? You have to be way more consistent if you actually care about your health and living long. But, also not planning out your day. I always plan out when I eat, what I'm eating, and make sure I do it every single day. And most of you guys work jobs, you have a structured routine. Why can't you just work in what you're eating, and preparing instead of being like, oh, someone's asking me to go out to eat at this bullshit restaurant, I'm just gonna go. Oh, it's happy, I'm just gonna go drink after work. If you guys really structure your lifestyle around eating clean, avoiding poisons, avoiding toxins, hitting the gym, growing muscle, getting your test up, you're not gonna get fucking sick whatsoever. I haven't gotten sick in years. The only time I got sick was from mono. And basically, I can't really help that. It's a virus. So, if you breathe that in, you're basically fucked regardless of how good your immune system is. So the next thing that you guys need to be doing in order to not get sick is to make sure that you are nose breathing at all times. So basically, when you nose breathe, it's literally an air filter for all the bullshit dust, bullshit bacteria that's in the air. Basically, when you breathe through your nose, it filters it out. That's when you get boogers, you get mucus, because that's the bullshit in the air that would go right in your lungs, right into your respiratory system if you weren't nose breathing. So in this room, there's no airflow. It's way harder to nose breathe. That means there's a lot of dust flying around. So I feel shit going in my nose when I breathe, but it's harder to breathe when it's shitty. So when you're outside and the air's fresh, the air's clear, it's easy to nose breathe. Basically, you need to be making sure that you do this on a daily basis during the day, which is really easy because you can just consciously do it. But one thing that a lot of people fuck up on is during the night, they mouth breathe while they sleep. And mouth breathing while you're sleeping can cause a shit ton of problems, like sleep apnea, which is when you snore. It also makes your jawline get recessed. So you see people who have no jawline or that's what we would call a mouth breather. And that's serious. So if you don't have a jawline, it's probably because you're not nose breathing. It can change. After a month or two of consistently nose breathing, you can totally have a sharp jawline and your facial structure will actually change, which is pretty fucking crazy. And I didn't know that until recently. Also, if you were a kid and you had braces, it's because you were mouth breathing. If you nose breathe from, when you were a child to when you're old, you won't need braces. So if you have kids right now, tell them to fucking nose breathe, teach them to nose breathe, and you won't have to waste your fucking money on getting them braces, which is pretty crazy as well, because it fucks with your jaw and where your teeth come in. But going back to sleeping, you basically sleep half your life or a third of your life. So you want to make sure that you're nose breathing that entire time, because if there's dust in the room, if there's shit flying around, you don't want it going right into your lungs. That's why every time I get fucking sick, or I used to get sick, it'd be in the morning. Oh, I woke up one day and I felt shitty. You wake up in the morning, oh, I feel sick. Maybe it's been coming from the previous day slowly, but usually in the morning, it's because you were mouth breathing during your sleep, and you just ingested some dust or some bacteria that was, in the air for some reason in your room when you were sleeping. And the last time I actually got mono is literally I woke up in the morning and I felt like shit. And there was the one time that I wasn't using mouth tape because I ran out and I was like, oh fuck, I'm just gonna go to sleep. And I literally was not putting the lines for sleeping, and that fucked me up. But basically, you can also structure, the environment of your room to make sure it's easier to nose breathe. So if you make sure the AC is on, the fan is on. If the fan's on, it's gonna blow around dust everywhere. You just want the air conditioning on. You want a window open, and you want it to be completely dark, cold, because when you're cold, you sleep better. You want your internal core temperature to be up, and it'll go up if it's cold around you. That kind of goes hand in hand with sleeping. But yeah, so nose breathing is extremely important. If you start doing it on a daily basis, you're not only gonna look better, but feel better, and you're not gonna get fucking sick. So the third thing that is making you get sick and fucking you up in life is vaccines. So this is pretty controversial, and I don't know if I'll get banned on YouTube or flagged or reported, but vaccines are fucking bullshit. What other animal on earth needs to get injected with some fucking, bullshit virus to make sure they don't get sick? If you just focus on your diet, if you're lean, you have a good heart, your blood pressure's good, you're hitting on your micros and macros from whole foods, you're not gonna fucking need some bullshit vaccine. And vaccines themselves aren't that bad, but they put heavy metals, I think it's mercury, in them to preserve the little strains of sickness or disease that's in the vaccine. And that goes to your blood-brain barrier. There's studies on it. I've seen podcasts on this where basically that's what causes autism, giving vaccines to little babies. It causes like brain cancer, like brain damage. And it it fucks you up badly. So the heavy metals go right to your blood-brain barrier because basically it's fine because they were like doing studies to where like, oh, there's no heavy metals in their system after they take the vaccine, so it doesn't matter, like in their blood. But there's something called your blood-brain barrier that you can't really extract shit from unless you're actually dead. So they did some study on a monkey where they were giving the monkeys vaccines, and then finally they checked the blood-brain barrier that killed the monkey, cut open their head, went in the brain, and that's where they found all the heavy metals. And it's like a shit ton, like dangerous level in their brain. And they're not even exactly sure all the problems that this can cause. But it's crazy that, you'll pay, or your insurance will pay for some shit that's supposed to make you better, but it actually makes you worse. And it's just crazy how the big pharma, the big food corporations and the big, pharmaceutical corporations, they just plot with each other to fuck you up and take all your fucking money. So the last thing that you need to be doing in order to not get sick is to optimize your recovery. So basically, you get run down if you're extremely tired, or if you're, run down. If you've been lifting 7 days or 8 days in a row, your muscles are all sore, you're still pushing yourself, you can get sick from that because your nervous system will get fried, and that kind of goes hand in hand with your nervous system. So things like a ton of caffeine can fry your nervous system. A ton of alcohol, your sleep gets fucked up. Your nervous system, you'll feel lightheaded, you'll feel tired, it'll fuck you up. And that goes hand in hand with your immune system. So making sure you get sleep, making sure you're eating enough food, making sure you're resting and not overdoing it and pushing yourself too hard. Like if you stay up till 2 a.m., wake up at 6 a.m. for work, like bro, you gotta get to bed earlier. You have to recover better. You have to make sure that you're healing, rejuvenating, regenerating your body from eating the right amount of macros and micros. And a lot of people don't really care. They'll just trash their bodies and they'll be like, oh, I'm young. And that's how everyone who's 20 ends up like a 30-year-old guy with a dad bod. Or a 30-year-old ends up with a 40-year-old guy who's like looking terrible, extremely fat, double chin, wrinkles, everything. You have to start now. But the good thing is, it's never too late. It's never too late to make a change. And if you feel like you need help learning how to work out, learning how to eat right, learning how to live long, book a call with me from the link in the description of this video, and I guarantee I can help you achieve whatever health and fitness goals that you want to achieve.